3. This was Puck's map versus Scarlet, if you remember. I'm really curious if we'll get that same early Nexus or not, but we'll see which of these guys gets knocked out here. I don't know, but the winner of this plays against Illusion, continuing here in the losers bracket, so best of luck to both players. I'm Rifkin, joined by Hendrilisk, who's not good enough to be here.
Wow.
But he still came nonetheless. Not a cast with me. Thank you so much for casting me today, man.
Yeah. I couldn't make it to stage 2. I derped hard on my CVPs in stage 1. So now I'm doing what every rational player would do, is turn to casting.
Oh, don't phrase it like that.
No.
Right.
But actually, I'm excited to be here too to cast and watch some exciting games.
Well, I'm really happy because fellow Canadian, man. 2 Canadians casting. When's the last time this happened? For real.
Yeah, exactly. I don't see that on your channel much.
Alright, well guys, let's get these intros out of the way. Spun here in the top left corner of the map from IVD Gaming. It's going to be the red Protoss player, Suppy, better known as Puck.
Since spawning in the top right, it's the Zerg player who's frantically rallying his drones to, like boosting the drones, you know what I'm saying? When you shift Q it and, okay, whatever. It's E.G. Suppy.
I like how quickly you abandoned that thought. You're like, oh, he's doing this, but never mind.
Okay, so basically, there's a trick you can do, guys, when you have drones that just mine the mineral. You can right-click it with shift and then tell it to shift mine. This way, it doesn't delay before it stops to mine the mineral. So it gives you, let's say, 1 mineral faster each trip or something. I don't know. It's very marginal, but at the start
cool.
of the
I thought you were just talking about stacking.
Oh,
that's cool.
Yeah, so because I followed Suppy's vision in the start, and he's been doing it since the game started. Well, not anymore because there's too many drones, but perhaps he can squeeze out a few seconds, like 1 or 2 seconds, in the timing of when he starts something. In an important match, you want as many advantages as you can get. Suppy isn't afraid to try to do that.
Well, we don't have Puck playing like super duper greedy this time either. Something we were kind of wondering if that was going to happen or not. I mean, he still opens up the gateway expand. Doesn't mean he won't take a faster third, but you know, if you don't go Nexus first, I don't know. I don't see him going too greedy. You know, for Suppy too, his lings and such last game were fun. They're good. I would like to see him get more aggression with him this game. Last game, there wasn't a whole lot I think necessarily fell apart, but he just wasn't ready for that air. Like, I don't think he realized just how heavily Puck had really dedicated to that. Because the big thing was, you guys don't forget, he hid his Void Rays for a long time. And when he revealed them, that's when he pushed.
Well, but Suppy actually did have an Overseer in the main to see a Void Ray and another Stargate. So he probably had it in the back of his mind, because he did have Queens too with Infestors. Just when the big attack came, he just wasn't ready. And Puck, once again, he's going for the same opener he's done in the last game, which is the Gateway Expand, and have the Mothership core out early so it can have energy in case Suppy wants to all in, and make Stalkers. I would say 2 again. That's what I probably will be seeing in a sec.
Well, I like that he... I actually, you know, I've never really seen anyone else do the double stalker thing that Puck does.
No, this time it's a bit different.
It's only one.
Yeah.
Oh, yo, do you know about the one Easter egg on this map, by the way?
What? You told me last time we casted something.
Yeah, there's a Christmas tree on this map.
Yeah, but I looked for it and I couldn't find it myself.
If you put your camera on my camera, you'll see it like right now.
Alright, let's see. Oh, there.
It's like hidden for some reason, and I don't know why, but that's the Easter egg of Nimbus.
Oh.
Yeah, every map usually has something hidden. Well, whatever. I think it's cool that they put it down there, because I wonder if like...
Yeah, I mean,
like,
Easter eggs are always fun to see.
Yeah, I don't know. Not the biggest deal. I still think like hidden Arthuses and things are the best, but...
What if the Arthus was inside the Christmas tree?
Yo, what if he's on the other side of the platform, like the bottom side?
Wow.
Whoa.
We have to go deeper.
Well, we can't, sadly. Zooming in is about as deep as we go.
They should make it so that you can drop things even in air, and then when you drop them, they just die.
That would be kind of a crazy dynamic, though, actually, thinking about that. If you could, like, layer the maps like this. Like, can you imagine being able to actually put units down there? They couldn't fight anything on, like, this top level, but they could, like, walk through, like, unseen.
Down there, it's just, like, 10 gold patches stacked on top of each other.
No, but I mean, like a sewer system to, like, hide, like, run your lings through and then pop up on the other side of the map or something.
Wow.
Something not so obvious, like the overworld or whatever. That'd be so cool.
Whoa. Suppy made all those Zerglings in response to the Stalker, I guess. But then he sees a sentry, so his Zerglings are crying. Or not, they're sad-facing right now. Because they can't do anything when there's a sentry on the high ground.
Yeah. So
Puck's gonna clear the scout too on the third base.
Oh, we're gonna see that
So-
blink. You know, might not have been a double stalker opener, but we're still gonna see
Whoa,
him lean
two
towards the
forges. This is like old Stardust style. On two bases, two forges. His units are going to be so insanely strong. The only problem might be him taking a third base because you have to invest all that in the upgrades. He's in fact getting charged instead of blink this time, mixing it up. Maybe he thinks it's because Suppy always goes for Zergling style, and when you start with two forges, your zealots are going to be so strong, lifting hard. And then with charge, well, the zealots obviously benefit from that too.
Yeah,
so all the upgrades.
Yeah, I was actually a little bit surprised to see charge get picked here as the tech choice, but.
Well,
One thing
Suppy's... Oh,
well,
what's
I was-
the one thing?
oh my god, so many gateways coming down right now. He's not gonna see this.
No, you can't. You can always deny scouting when you have sentries and stalkers and a mothership core
Yeah.
versus only Zerglings. So, Suppy's best chance now is to make an Overseer as soon as possible or sacrifice an Overlord nearby. It's just he doesn't have an Overlord nearby, so he can't know anything.
Yeah, the closest one's like way over here.
Oh my god, Puck is getting 2-2. The Zealots are gonna have 2-2 by the time the Zerglings have 1-1.
We're gonna shred him to bits. It's not even gonna be close. The warp person's coming out too, so he can actually warp in without the, I guess, reliance of pylons, which is nice. A lot of times too, with instances like what Suppy has, there's so much creep spread, you actually just can't physically put down a pylon. So the warp person has to be utilized in this regard.
So the Templar Archive is getting dropped, so this signifies the transition into Zealot Archon, which is so good versus Mass Zerglings. Luckily for Suppy, he does have a Roach Horn, and he can choose to make a lot of roaches. Because right now, Zerglings are not going to be very helpful versus that at all.
It's funny you bring up the Wings of Liberty thing last game, because Chargelot Archon is kind of a bit of an older school build too. We haven't really seen that in a long time. The last time I really saw it in a big stage was like Huck versus Rhett like last year in DreamHack. Just not really a go-to.
Oh, weird.
But these Queens will chase this back. That is a hell of a lot of Queens. Zealot's going to scrap really nicely before they go down, though. They do have 1-1.
Yeah, they have 1-1
Yeah.
versus 0-0.
Yeah,
Well,
actually,
Puck's
most
actually
of the
still
time.
making 2 more probes and an Immortal because he saw the roaches.
Oh, Suppy finally scouts the double forges, though, and he sees the chrono going on them, too. So he's got to have a pretty good idea what's going on now.
Yeah, I think Suppy should drop some Spine Crawlers too.
Oh, it's such a hard decision to make, though. They're so expensive, and you don't really know if they're going to be
With the extra money, that
necessary,
is. I mean, if he's making
Yeah.
units non-stop and he's going to float some, then definitely. Or,
Well, I still think like
he's
having
actually going Mass Queen.
1 or 2 wouldn't be horrible to have, but you're right. Like, trying to identify just how many. Mass Queen cause seems like a bit of a joke, but I guess it's not too bad in this scenario because they can soak the hits
Mass
better than
Queen-
Lings. They can transfuse. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, like when you have Zealots, they don't care about Queens. Queens are really good versus Voids or Immortals, let's say. But Mass Zealot doesn't care. Anyways, Puck's taking a third base. Crazy Puck.
He's got the force fields for holding at least 1 or 2
So
waves.
what Suppy saw was like a 2-base double forge all-in, supposedly, and he had to make all these units just to defend. And now that Puck's taking a third, Suppy is sort of forced to try to make something happen by attacking. Just when you attack into an army that's so strong, it might not. Oh, but he's getting.
He's
No,
getting
he got a.
trucked on here. The Archons keep breaking the force
Oh.
fields.
Oh, he broke it again. Oh my god.
Oh my god, I've never
Oh,
actually
Kimono's
seen that
struck like a
happen.
crab. Look at the legs.
Wow, that's like the
insane.
most important unit in this competition too. Who cares about the Sentries compared to the Immortals at this point? The Ramp's already been compromised. He's
at
gonna
this
finally
point-
push this back.
That could have done a lot better if Puck stayed on the high ground, but then he might have lost third. So, or stayed at the third and the minerals. I mean the Nexus and the minerals to force field easier. So he lost an Immortal on a few
What
units.
happened to
Maybe.
the? Oh, I was gonna say, what happened to the War Prison? Suspecting some harassment down behind this move, but I guess he lost that at some point. So,
Yeah.
Nexus looks like it is gonna go down. Won't be able to save this,
Oh.
sadly. That's rough to deal with.
Very rough.
Suppy with some pretty good control, I gotta say though. You know, he got caught in a lot of the force fields. He got a little bit awkward on that ramp. He wasn't.
His positioning was really nice for the Roach Lane counterattack. Maybe Puck was a little
Well-
bit. He was out in the open, right, where he could have been
Yeah.
either on the ramp or at the Nexus and the minerals.
Well, that's what I like too. I mean, again, coming back to the point where Suppy doesn't seem to have that indecision a lot of other players do. Like, you know, he was making very committed choices there, and it wasn't a lot of back and forth. Like, I should go up the ramp. Oh, wait, never mind. Maybe I'll go back down, or maybe I'll go back up. Like, he was very clear on what he wanted to do with that attack.
Oh,
after it
here
started.
he's going in for the surround once more.
Good force fields out of Puck on the bottom side. Top one's a little bit late, but he's still got potential losing some sentries.
You know, without a Nexus cannon to fall back to or a gateway wall with a cannon, let's say, this kind of Roach Link can actually trade pretty well in the open, of
Hydra's
course.
finally coming out too. Let's not forget about that.
Yeah,
I mean,
this might be the nail in the coffin for Puck because all his units aren't very ranged, and if they are,
Right.
they're not splash damage. They're not going to do that good with Hydras.
And Puck's been like, you know, this what he has right now is meant to counter what Suppy has, and he's still losing units to it. Now Suppy's going to be the one with the actual counter, and this is going to just look way too messy for Puck.
And as you pointed out in the other series, this map is pretty open, so you can fight in the open. Force fields aren't as strong as they could be.
I mean, this is probably the best place here with the ramp to the wall, but that's really the only engagement area he can afford to take. And if he does, then Suppy just breaks down these rocks and goes to the main. So,
in fact, he might be trying to. No, he just.
Okay, so forced to fight, but forced to fight with a lot of Hydras. Suppy's just gonna be like, okay, sure, bring it on.
Now the Hydras aren't upgraded, so they're not doing too much damage. It's just the overwhelming numbers. Puck's army has been kept small the whole game.
He finally picked off a majority of those sentries that were sticking around, though. Down to 5. I mean, that's kind of the key thing here, I think.
Puck actually did use that time warp earlier, too, so his photon overcharge is a bit later. Hydra Ling without upgrades versus a few gateway units.
He's, yeah, I really think if he like waited for the muscular augment so he could have danced around better, that might have been a little bit better. Because, of course, he's got no creeps right over here.
Yeah, or the better alternative, in my opinion, was to go to Swarmhost because he already had an infestation pit.
Yeah, but Suppy, this player's like Hendrilisk. I'm like, yeah, this guy does Swarmhost. Moose Skills, this guy does Swarmhost. Suppy's not the guy who does Swarmhost, at least from what I've seen.
Yeah, well, in this position, I feel it would be better than Hydra's.
Maybe. I don't disagree, but it's just it's not characteristic of Suppy. He also took a 4th too while this was going on, but he's not really mining off of it. Just extra.
So it's not. It's just something to transfer drones on because he's mining out in the main.
I think the brute force effect's really going to come in here because now there's queens on the front lines too. Lings run by.
Puck has an observer, so he knows what he's up against. He just has to choose his fight carefully.
Yeah. Lings actually get through to the natural too. Oh boy.
Oh.
Rocks are down. He can push wherever he wants, quite frankly. The Hydras, you point out they're not as upgraded as Puck's units, but they're still so good with their DPS against what he has. It's a lot of sentries and a lot of immortals.
The huge concave, you mean?
Yeah. I mean, even with the force fields down, Puck can't take a favorable engagement here. The Zealot's actually doing a good chunk of damage here.
Oh, that's a good flank.
Yeah. Absolutely. Something he needed as well. Yeah, Ling's gonna get on top of the immortals here soon. He's out of sentries. He's out of force fields. Nothing to actually keep Suppy at bay. Transfuses and Hydras. You don't see this often.
Yeah, this is it. Puck just got broken through here, so he won't be able to beat this army.
GG.
Good luck.
Sad to see Puck go out of the tournament, but congratulations to Suppy, as he will take... Oh, cool. Let's practice. Suppy will take the series. He will move on to fight against Illusion in a TVZ. And I personally want to follow to that. You cool with that?
Yeah, I mean, anything with Zerg, I'd be more than glad to watch.
Well, that'll work, because it's about time we get a TVZ.
Yeah, I haven't seen any TVZ today. Today's only been... Oh, wait, no, we did, but it was just so short, because it was so one-sided.
Select, yeah.
Select versus Scarlet. Not the most exciting series.